All right. So I asked the first sergeant the question about the whole hair coloring thing because it's been baffling me for a while. So I said we had a black girl, a white girl, a Chinese girl, and a Mexican, and they all come from tech school together. The question I posed was if they all dyed their hair jet black, would it be an issue? So the first sergeant said it depends on the fair how fair skinned the Caucasian girl was or the white girl was, because you normally don't see fair skinned or really pale white girls with dark hair. So my question was, what does that really have to do? Because jet black is a natural hair color, and it says it has to be a natural hair color that you basically that looks good with your skin tone. So looking good is subjective. So that's why I posed the question. So I asked the same question in reverse, and I said, what if all the black girl, the white girl, the Asian girl, and the Mexican girl, they all said, hey, let's go get our hair dyed blonde, and they all got blonde hair? What would be the issue? He said I would call out the black girl, the Asian girl, and I would call out the Mexican. And I said, why? And he said, because it won't go with their, I guess it won't go with their complexion. So black, white, the race has no bearing whatsoever. The race is just used to throw people off. It doesn't matter what your race is, because you can be from Mexico and look as African American or black as me. So that doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, if you come to work and you have black hair and the next day you show up you have blonde, the perception will be something different. So it will raise flags, so someone would be so inclined to comment like, hey, I don't know if that's in regs. But if you came from tech school, and your hair was a different color when you got there, let's say you came from tech school, and in tech school you had black hair, and then when you showed up and you're Asian, and then you showed up to your first base and it's blonde, they perceive you as blonde. So they won't really be able to distinguish between the two. Like, well, maybe this is out of regs, because the first impressions are the last impressions. And do you normally see an Asian person with blonde hair? No, but that does not, the reg does not say because you're Asian, black, or Mexican, you can't have blonde hair. It does not say that whatsoever. So with that being said, the natural hair color has no merit with race or ethnicity. It's just what people are used to seeing, so they're inclined to comment on it. But this is where I stump people. I showed them a picture of an aboriginal, or like aborigines people, which they look African American, but they have blonde hair. This is a true statement. You can Google it, look it up. Aboriginal women with blonde hair, or even black people with blonde hair. And I just use black because I'm black, and I've seen people with blonde hair. So that's a natural hair color. So I posted a couple of pictures on here to say, hey, if this person came into the military and they're Aboriginal, what would you say? Would you make them change their hair color? Because it's a natural hair color. That's subjective to perception, which is the flaw, in my personal opinion, in the AFI. So if you're African American, if you're Chinese, Asian, whatever you are, and you choose to dye your hair, as long as it's not burgundy, because it specifically says you cannot do burgundy. If it's black or blonde, according to the AFI, it's legal, because race has nothing to do with it. And as long as you can show the picture that it is an actual hair color, and you have a good stylist and it don't look like crap anyways. But if it's a really good like quality and it's to the root, it doesn't even really have to be to the root, because if you look at the two pictures that I posted, it's kind of like blended a little bit, and it's kind of blonde and the Aboriginal kids, and then it's an older black lady, but her hair is blonde naturally, and of course sun bleached. It should be legal because it's a natural hair color. Just because you're not used to seeing it doesn't mean it's not legal. So my final advice is make sure you have your stuff together, because you can't be complaining about a hair color and you ain't passing your PT test and you ain't doing what you got to do at work. Because now you putting a spotlight on yourself. Should it be a spotlight on you? No, because of AFI, it is what it is. But we're all human, and we will pick and choose, and we will key in on certain things that just doesn't look normal. It's just human nature. So don't take it so personal. But to the girl that posted the picture about her hair, her natural hair color, I would say, hey, if you was my troop, have at it, because it looks like a natural hair color. One shade of red doesn't necessarily mean it's better than the next shade of red, because when you add sun, you add chemicals and stuff like that, the actual color changes anyway. So one shade of red, and I mean, if it's neon and you look like a fire truck, then you may have some issues. But natural hair color is also subjective, because there's too many different hues to say what's natural and what's fake. That's my 2 cents. All right, bye.